Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. We're going to get started soon. Going to get started real soon. Just going to wait for people to come in here. And yeah. Oh, let me get up the chat here. Pop out chat. There we go. Hello from Kurdistan. What's up, Mohammed? There we go. What's up? I'll just call you Amore, Kumar, Shahan, Varman, Song Tricks, some Songtronics. What am I doing? What's up, everybody? Oh man, I am not in good shape the past few days. My backs have been killing me. All right. Okay. Maybe I should make an announcement. I usually do that on my Discord server, but I debated even doing this up until the last second, so I didn't do that. So we don't even have a queue of designs going yet in the feedback channel. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I'm going to announce it. We're already here. All right, so yeah, basically I go to the gym and sometimes I just push it a little bit too much, especially when I have a bad back, doing stupid squats and hack squats, and I messed my back up like a week ago, but then it felt better, went back to squats, and then 2 days after that, which was yesterday, holy crap, my lower back is so messed up. I went to a massage therapist for a deep massage. These Asian dudes at the local mall just grinding their elbows into my back. It was so painful, just to try to help loosen it up and all that. And then I went and bought one of those teeter inversion tables for like $300. So I've been hanging upside down, and now there's like broken blood vessels in my face. I look ridiculous. It's called petechiae. Anyhow, not fun at all. Not fun. But I'm gonna have to. I'm going to the doctor today here at 1:15 in a couple hours. Probably to get an X-ray to see what the hell's going on with my back, because I know it's all jacked up, and I don't know, maybe muscle relaxers or something, because I can't stand sitting for more than a few minutes, and the pain is just too much. And then I can't stand standing for more than a few minutes, so I'm probably gonna be standing a couple times just to stretch out my back periodically throughout this live stream. And I don't even know if I'm going to go an hour. I just feel like laying down. I think that's like the only way I can get relief from my back. But I still wanted to do this live review. And this time we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to take a look at your designs. I'm going to like look at them real quick. And if there's one particular design, or there's a aspect of the design that I think could be improved, I'm going to hop into Adobe XD or Experience Design to demonstrate a better way to do whatever it is that I think could be improved. So what we're going to do is, as always, if you're new to this, just go to the Discord channel, which is linked in the YouTube description, join up. It'll put you into the roles section. You have to hit one of these, reaction icons down here based on what you do. And then it'll open up the feedback channel. And then you can just go here and then submit your design as people already have and are currently doing right now. So yeah. So we'll just get started. The very first one that we have here is Movie Wiki. Yeah, okay, let's just check this out. It's a Heroku hosted app here. So, all right, search for a movie. Let me think. Event Horizon. That's an old movie I used to like. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Fortunately, we got some broken results here, but looking at this, this could definitely be improved big time. For some reason, I don't even know what this is doing here. Like, what is this? It looks like almost like an ad. There's no place like home. I don't even know what this is. So you could definitely improve this a lot more. Generally, it's just for accessibility reasons. You do want a submit button as well. So I'm not going to bother with ratings today. I just don't feel like it. I'm just going to continue on here. And that way we can get more in. All right. Next up. All right. Hi, I'm Donnie. I build user interfaces. My work. Okay. Simple enough. Let's come down here. All right. Very soft shadow we have going on back there. One of those things about accessibility is you want to use labels for your form fields or your text fields for sure. I've done a video on that, and there's a lot of other literature as to why you want to do that. But you should never rely just on placeholder values. I'm always saying that every episode I do this because somebody's always doing that. But for the most part, this is pretty solid. It's just a one-page scrolling site. This section here is pretty good. The type is easy to read. This part, these thumbnails, I understand this is just filler. It's not quite ready yet. I feel that there needs to be a little bit more white space on the inside of these containers because it's a little bit scrunched into this section. In fact, I think that's going to be our first little small redesign that we do. So we're going to take this section just for these thumbnails, and I'm going to try to do a quick refactor, if you will. So let me come here to Adobe XD. I'll do this. And I'm just going to paste this in real quick. I'm going to duplicate this. All right, so this is the before, essentially. And I'm going to create a very quick after for this. So I'm going to create a just a square, a thumbnail size, that's roughly around the same size. And we're going to try to see if we can improve this real quickly. And then we'll move on to the next review and see what we can do. So let me go back to the site, and I'll just I'm going to take this and put it onto my desktop, and that way I can drag this back onto here. All right. So the one thing I see right away is these look washed out. Like if I go back here, by default he has an opacity that's lowered, but when you hover over it, we have this, the opacity is brought back to 100%, and then this outer glow, which is, I'm not sure if I agree with that too much. It's a little bit too much happening. So what I think I would like to do is to take the border, get rid of the border. And one thing I like to do is to take the background. Maybe we can go like a real subtle grayish blue, or even just gray itself. And then what we can do is we'll take, actually one way we can do it is just duplicate this and then change the background color real quick to white. So now we have like an inner container here, so it's like a card-based layout still. Skies hairstyling, I'll just use the same text for the heck of it. Skies hair styling. And I'm also not a fan of the font. He's using like this serif sort of font, so probably keep this a little bit more simplistic. Maybe we'll use Nunito, and we'll make this darker. Right now it's a size 20. We can bold this up, so maybe make it a tad bit larger. And he also has tags on here, so HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript, along with a little more call to action. So I'll put those in. And we definitely want to separate these, and he did do that visually, at least with the type. Right there, because he made it smaller. I agree with that, so let me put HTML5 there. We'll take this down, and then we can also even encase them, kind of like he did in a little container. Or let's see. Yeah, we'll just stick with that for a second here. And then I will get out our layers, put it underneath, get it more situated here. All right, and then just looking at this, we can take this to a gray or so, and then we will repeat grid. All right, and then I'm really not sure if a more button makes sense here. Oh, by the way, let me get back our chat just so we can have our chat here. All right. So yeah, because by default, when somebody hovers over this, the mouse is going to change to a cursor icon. So people know they can click on the whole thing anyhow. So let me work on the alignment just a tad bit more. So I'm taking these two elements. Maybe I'll put them in just a little bit. So now I want equal white space from the top and bottom, and as well as from the bottom of this element to the bottom of the container. So it's like right around here. All right, and then I don't think I'm a fan of this background, so I'm just going to make it completely gray. There we go. Then we could take this and repeat the grid. And repeat the grid down. All right, so this is essentially my version. Looks obviously pretty redundant because we're using the same icons repeating over and over. And then here's his version. You can just see it's just immediately washed out, which I think is a negative thing. You want, you know, whatever projects you have to really stick out by default. And also, there's not a lot of white space inside here. So this one, in my opinion, I think is, you can say almost objectively better, just because there's more room for it to breathe, and it's not quite as washed out from the beginning. Okay, let's continue on. All right, thank you for the submission, though. Now, this is one of those points I have to stand up and stretch my back very quickly because my back is killing me. Oh. I hate being, I'm getting old and out of shape. Oh my God, I'm messing myself up in the gym. Okay, I'm back. God, this sucks. Okay, all right, who's up next? Let's see here. I think I used this one, right? Yeah, okay. I saw that one. All right. Let's Songtronics. All right. I don't know what this is, just a little landing page to download something for Minecraft, it looks like. Ugh. Fortunately, there's not really quite enough here for me to critique, but I would say, you know, if this is just like a download type thing, this area could be improved for sure, because if we just look at the white space that's inside of here, and then you have these links, like these social media links, they're just kind of stuck there at the bottom. Not a lot of white space between these elements and these elements. You want to space things out a lot more, at least in this context. So I would try to refigure out, you know, try to figure out how you can redo this just a bit for the download. Let's go to Mac. All right, so this area right here, no problem. Yeah, you don't want this text to overlap into the graphic over here. So, oh my God, my back is killing me. I hate this. No more squatting, Gary. No more squatting. I can't have anything on my back. All right, what's in here? How can I get to that graphic? It's not allowing me to select it, unfortunately. Where's the next div? I'm just trying to get to this element right here. Sometimes it's like a little bit tricky to get to your various elements here. Damn it. Well, either way, what I was going to do is scale this down. Oh, really? But if I take this out, there we go. It should be like this all the time with this alignment, where you have some white space between your important elements right here. I would also say you need to separate out visually your headline from the description text down here. They're both white, and while this is larger, it's still, there needs to be an extra element of separation visually here between these two elements. So one thing that you could do is you could do a couple things. Let's see here. Let's see. I don't think this is going to work. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. So font weight bold, you could do that. And probably take this and color. Let's see here. I'm going to do this. That's obviously ugly, but 1 second. We'll go back to blues. I don't want that. Maybe right around there. I think even separating them out like line height. Oh, you already have line height here. And then also margin. You have 15 pixels on the top and bottom. Well, you know, like 30 pixels more like that to really separate them out. And then your call to action button over here. I don't like the drop shadows are just too much. They're really sticking out, like they contrast way too much. So I would take those down quite a notch, or just remove them altogether. I'm not sure which element we have here. Free consultation. But yeah, I would redo the button as well. Other than that, it's a nice graphic right here. This part's pretty good. Probably separate these out a little bit away from each other, a little bit further on this resolution, at least on this viewport. Coming down here, this looks pretty solid. I would probably separate these 4 elements out. This element, and this element, and that. Just separate those out vertically a little bit more white space between them. This is pretty good right here. Probably bold these up because these 3 text elements are pretty similar to each other, even though they're slightly different. I would bold this one up, and I think that would really help separate them a little bit better. Yeah, I see a lot here that's happening right, and then just a few small things like I mentioned. Nice. Let's go to the next person. Oh, I haven't seen these in a while. This was a real big trend. The little vector animations in the background. Oh man, my back. This sucks so bad. 1 second. I need to look at my dashboard. Oh, there it is. All right, I've been going for not even 20 minutes. All right, so this right here, we have a number of issues. It kind of looks strange with this Bezier curve split in the middle, and then all of a sudden it just comes to a hard end right here, like with this vertical or this horizontal block. So if you're going to do something like this, try to always make it smooth. Probably just get rid of this bottom, or make sure that this spans 100% of the viewport height. Your text right here, I'm not sure what this is, but let me translate this. Discover our consultants. I'm not exactly sure why that's just randomly there. It's not clickable. So I would remove this element and also work on your button, because yellow on the white background doesn't contrast too much, so it's hard to see a little bit. Also, I would left align this or make this button go from 0 to 100% width in this column. Probably, though, keep it the same size, but left align it, because it's a little strange seeing a button being left or being centered in a column where everything else the text is left aligned. It just throws off the flow of the layout, in my opinion. Coming down here, yeah, this right here is an issue because it's just like there's a massive block of text stuck in its own column in the middle, and it just throws off the layout a lot. Like this would be so much better if you just did something like this, like just get rid of this. In fact, get rid of the whole. Well, I'm not going to try to refactor it, but get rid of this whole section right here, and then just put the heading that I deleted on top, all in the same column. The section would flow much better. And yeah, the Vertex background right here is just too much happening. If you're going to have that, just take the opacity down to like 3%, so you can barely even see it, because it is distracting from the content itself. All right, thanks for that submission. Portfolio website. All right. Not too certain about this font up here. It just looks like your typical Times New Roman font or something, the serif font. I would probably change that. It just says resume too. It's just like kind of, it's not even white. It's a little bit gray, it looks like, and it just seems kind of bland. For such an important call to action, I would assume, since you put it up there, put it in, like encase it into a button with maybe a little download icon. I think that would look a little bit better and work better. All right. All right. So if I maximize this, this becomes an issue, having these thumbnails so large. For number one, on my resolution, which is 4K right now, it's pixelated because these are small images and they're not meant to be this large. So make sure that your CSS viewports or CSS is structured so that these don't get that large, and instead of just showing 2 by 2, you can show like 4 at a time or 5 on the same row. So that's what I would do for that. All right, let's continue on. Thank you for the submission. All right, let's check this one. My back is killing me. Are you a magician? Yes, you are. Or maybe it's not you. Maybe it's somebody you're designing for. But that's the feel that I got. Like I was thinking this guy's probably a web designer, and he wanted to use some cool background, but he really looks like a magician. But you know what? It's suitable because this dude is trying to be a magician, apparently, or is. Now here's one issue: you shouldn't make the this image of him. You shouldn't make it expand and contract with the browser, because then he just looks way too skinny. Dude needs to eat. And then of course he's been hanging out at McDonald's way too much in this context. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure that doesn't happen. You can use a lot of different CSS property, like CSS background image, or it would be background, like a cover for the CSS property or value. So let's come down here. The logo, unfortunately, gets a little bit hidden because it is a little bit darker up in this area. So try to think about a different way to increase the contrast on the logo. Welcome to the art of illusion. I would make this completely white so it really stands out, because I could see that there's a little bit of opacity applied to it. I would get rid of this whole section that says about, and just start here with this part, and give more white space inside of this container on this resolution, at least on this wide desktop resolution. Right here, you have this big empty space here, big empty space here, and now there's just a bunch of blocks of content, and it loses its flow of a nice cohesive layout. So get rid of this section, get rid of that. Things will kind of go together a little bit better. So we run into that issue right here again. Just a lot of lines and a lot of stripes. Hard to follow and read in that context. So, and again, make sure you use labels. Don't rely just on placeholder values. All right, let's continue on. We're at 25 minutes. We started 25 minutes ago. Oh, darn. Unfortunately, I can't read this. I have no clue what's happening. And Adobe XD doesn't have translation, I believe. Yeah, unfortunately, I just can't really... This part doesn't look too bad. Oh, we got alcohol. Oh, my God, my back. Let me stand up for a second. Jesus Christ. Oh, my back. This sucks. Oh. Okay. All right. I can do this. This sucks so bad. I'm looking at myself in the replay. I look ridiculous. See, it's my little YouTube dashboard thing. Okay. This part's not too bad. Looking at it for what it is, decent cards, call to actions to add them to your cart. That works. That works. Damn. This hurts so bad. Probably want to space things out just a tad bit more. The colors get a little bit, it's a little bit too many colors in this section right here, where you have starts at, which is a label, and then the value is this orange. This value is orange as well, but this label is black. So I would stick with making both the labels black right here. Starts out should be black. Select volume is black because they're both labels. So because it just throws off, it makes it a little bit chaotic in that sense. The X3 looks a little bit misplaced right here, so that's the only thing that really sticks out to me that could be improved, though. All right, the place order button almost doesn't look like a button. It looks like a footer. So stick to a standard convention where it's just like, you know, a button with a, you know, either square or rounded corners or whatever, or pill form of a button. And that would be more obvious to people that they click it and it's a call to action. God, my back sucks. All right. Who's next? Hi, my name is Ahmed and I'm a front-end developer. All right. Well, this is here extremely boring and it leaves much to be desired because there's no call to action. There's no indication that I should scroll down outside of the scroll bar, but you don't want people just to rely on that as an indicator. And there's no navigation up here, so people don't know if where they should click at all. So yeah, you definitely want to have some type of indicator and direction to give people to continue on learning about you as a person, as a front-end developer. This right here, again, just way too much white space for this section. You could really fill this out a lot more. You know, it's screen real estate. It's very valuable, and you don't want to have people to have to keep just scrolling like 20,000 miles just to, you know, read about you. So what I would suggest in your case, go to Google, type in web design portfolios. Just try to get an idea of layouts and such. All right, thank you for that submission. Yes, SRBA. I've gone to physical therapy for this issue a while ago because a chiropractor really screwed up my back, and these McKenzie exercises, as they're called, that's what it's all about. It's like the reverse hyperextensions where you lay on the floor and then you push up where your legs are still flat. So I've done that a lot, and I've been doing that today, but it's just like, this is getting ridiculous, the fact that I keep on getting injured like this. Sucks. Okay. Who's up next? All right, so this is a dribble shot. I would say we might want to try to work in a little bit more color here, just because it's a little bit monochromatic in this area with the very light pink and the brown. It contrasts well, but your call to action, at least, maybe that's the element I would change to white, maybe, so that it really sticks out Also, here at, this section right here, this little description, no reason not to push this out to the equal amount of width, like right here, because it seems like there's a second column, but there's nothing in it. You know what I mean? So I would just move that out a little bit more. Otherwise, pretty good. All right, next up, this is pretty solid. I really like this font. What font is that? I used to have all my Chrome plugins installed, and it would tell me what font is going on. Maybe it's in the body or the HTML. Well, it's somewhere. Well, maybe the person who made this can let me know in the YouTube comments. All right, anyhow, I like it. Yeah, very good font pairing right here for the headline and subheadline. There are also scale is very good. Maybe a tad bit too close to this. No, maybe not. This is pretty good. Personally, on this resolution, I probably want to push things down just a tad bit more vertically. Just maybe where Innovative Webs maybe starts on this line, possibly. Fair play. Play fair display. Yeah, I've used that font. Yep, that's a Google font that you can find. Good section up here too. Good menu. And I like this. These separators are you can barely even see them, but they work well to separate your content, your different sections of content. Yep, these are all good. Very solid. I like it. Nothing I could say bad about this one. All right. All right. This one's looking pretty solid too, although the logo in especially the slogan, you cannot see that. I cannot read what that says. It says responsive, something, something, and something, something. So yeah, this logo needs reworked for sure. The collimative ink should be larger in relation to the current size of the symbol. The symbol size is good, but the collimative is just like you can't, collimative or whatever it's called, you can't really, yeah, it's too small. So I would ditch the slogan or the tagline right here and just use collimative ink and make it a little bit larger. Outside of that, good illustration. This section is pretty good. Coming down here. Personally, when you do these, the CSS transition from this this to this, in the middle of it, it has a real ugly sort of, and it's only for a split second. It's a real ugly transition. What I would do is just not have a transition. Just make it go instantly if you're going to use this, because it has like this gray area for a split second that looks kind of just funky. Same thing with this right here. Other than that, this is pretty solid. This text right here should not be that long. You know, make sure that that has like a width of like 70% or so and not 100%, because nobody wants to scan this, especially on a 4K resolution monitor. Your head has to like go back and forth. But other than that, a lot of this is quite solid. Not sure about the green on the pink here. It doesn't really contrast that great. Also, you hover over it, it changes to something else, which is real ugly because this is like a shade off of the pink. But yeah, other than that, a lot of what's happening here is pretty good. All right. All right. Clean energy matters. All right, so I like the idea that you're kind of going for, you know, a different sort of layout, you know, your unconventional sort of layout with the headline being centered between these two columns. But I would say this section where it says start your friendly home today, which is kind of situated almost as an afterthought to the right of the browser and kind of small in this area. I would think about, try to get a way that you can make this text work maybe over here possibly. You could even encase it in something similar to this, although having both of those in that same manner styled would be a little bit redundant. So I try to, you can still keep the same idea, but I think this kind of needs to be placed in a different area. Let's see. All right, so it's doing the whole little bit of a scroll hijacking thing, which, you know, I personally don't care too much about, but let me see here. Yeah, I would try to think about it just like a different placement of this area. See, and one thing like this one, especially this photograph, there's a lot of white. It's high contrast. You can't really, this right here gets lost. So you really want to make sure that this is kind of like the primary focus outside of just the photograph. The photograph is secondary in terms of importance to what you're talking about in this particular slide. All right, thank you for that. Who's up next? All right, we'll translate it. All right, contact. Oh my God, my back. All right. One thing I would change is your primary call to action. In this case, is the contact button based on it being blue, and it's like the thing that pops out the most. But that's not what somebody would want to click when they first visit your website if they're a potential client or an employer. They want to see credentials or your work or your portfolio more so. So I would make contact this button and then make this button the blue button. So reverse them. This part's I like the design of it, but in terms of like laying out your content, there's a little bit much happening here. So you have your About Me section here, but then you have this completely other different type of section right here, which is, I think this should have its own row to sit on. So that way it wouldn't be so condensed right here. I like this section. It's designed pretty well. I understand you're going for that blocky effect, but it seems like it's almost a little bit too much here with this empty column right here, which is its own block. And then this block right here. So it's just a little bit too blocky in my opinion. But still, it's not bad. And again, don't rely on placeholder values. Make sure you have your labels here on these forms to make sure that they're accessible. All right. I'll be doing this for a few more minutes. My, what the hell? How do I get that everything back? Damn it. Sometimes I hate Windows. Okay. Let me get my other dashboard back. There we are. You have three elements. One second. You have your name. Get rid of that. Get rid of this section completely. I mean, it's like you already have up here in your header this. You have your name, so it's redundant to have your name as well. You can say I am a full stack web developer. And let's continue on here. So this is kind of like a blog section. Yeah, that would be my main gripe is like up here. For the most part, things down here are situated and designed pretty decently. So I think I do recall reviewing your design before, and while I forget what it looked like, I'm sure it's probably been a big improvement already. So that's good. Let's get out here. Let me retranslate that. All right, so got an issue here. We have all this space, but this should be aligned vertically, so it's right in the center, not just like stuck randomly up here. So you definitely want to improve that. You want to improve the contrast as well, which means you need to take the image of this woman here and make it darker so that this stuff contrasts more on top. This is pretty good design right here. I would want to lay these out differently just because you have a column here and then this is stuck up here. Put these, instead of 2 columns and 3 rows, do 2 rows with 3 columns instead, and put them all by themselves. Don't left align any other columns by themselves. Just completely get rid of this image, honestly. It doesn't do anything. And instead of adding the background shadow to try to increase the contrast, I would just darken this up and just keep the text white. So darken the background, keep that white. This is a pretty good section right here in terms of design. And probably want to space this content out a little bit more. It's a little bit small. But yeah, good stuff. All right, I'm going to do one more, and then my back has to have a rest. Like, this is horrible. All right, so we're going to do one more. All right. Oh, wait, no. I did that already. All right, let's do this one. My back is killing me. I know you guys are sick of hearing me that. All right, one more drink of water. All right, Sweeney Todd, here we go. Yeah, I like the colors here. This works, the overlaying of this element right here. So it's like for a barbershop. I like the feel of it. It's aggressive with the black and red. Yeah, I like this. This is really nice. Probably want to increase the contrast just slightly on these. Not a ton, just a little bit. But yeah, I don't have anything negative to say about this. This is nice. It's responsive, seems to work well. Very good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Yeah, nothing negative to say about that one. If I didn't get to your design, sorry about that. My back is killing me. I'm going to the doctor soon here. Yeah, hopefully they can help me out. All right. A little bit shorter, but again, yeah, health issues and all. But I'll see you guys probably this Monday with yet another tutorial of some sort, and I'll see you soon. All right, goodbye. Let's close this out. See ya.